We have a major update on indefinite leave to remain for those on the care workers who are currently more than 2.5 million. This is huge. Let's go down to the beginning of this story because a lot of things have been happening behind the scene since the UK government proposed that they were going to increase from 5 to 15 years the numbers of time that care workers will have to stay in the UK before they get indefinite leave to remain. To understand what is happening, the impact and implication, let's quickly go to the beginning. How it all began. Years ago, Britain faced care crisis. Home staff hospitals were stretched. Workforce wasn't enough. Britain looked abroad for workers. Thousands came legally to work in the care sector and NHS. They came to care and look after the vulnerable and old and elderly, doing jobs that most British people did not want to do. They were promised a future, right? Then, the sacrifice behind the scene, the smiles that you see, the social media posts was long shift, low pay, chronic understaffing. Some workers were underpaid, others were working excessive hours. Some were promised accommodation, but they end up sleeping in cars and sleeping rough. But still, they stayed because for many, it is about their children's future. They believe that the sacrifice is worth it at the end. The system no one talks about. Behind the scene, things were not as rosy. It was tough for a lot of migrants. Many were tied to one employer who holds their future with the visa sponsorship. Unison started speaking out. That's the union for those outside the UK. They were raising alarm about the plight of care workers. Initially, nobody listened to them. The system no one talks about. Behind the scene, people were saying that things were tough for a lot of these carers. Okay? Now, let us now look at the fear as a management tool. Unison raised alarm that unscrupulous employers, they were exploiting workers. They complained that they were being bullied, threat of deportation, being silent for reporting poor condition while caring for the most vulnerable people and doing jobs that a lot of British people did not want to do. However, just a few days ago on the 17th, they stood up. They came in hundreds. Care workers traveled to Westminster to the House of Parliament, first of its kind organized by Unison. They came not to protest, but they just want to share their story so that the MP can understand what they are proposing and the impact on the lives of people. MP listened to the stories. Some of them were touched by powerful stories that they heard. Now, according to Audrey, she said, and I quote, "A lot of care workers and nurses are exploited by being tied to one employer. They can't speak up because their sponsorship can be revoked." She added, "Care is a calling, not just a job. We need to be respected and acknowledged for it." Her word was so powerful that it lit up the room. It didn't end there. The proposed changing is causing a fear. What is the proposed changing? Now we know that the government is planning to increase from 5 to 15 years the numbers of time that care workers will have to live in the UK before they apply for indefinite leave to remain. Unison, on the other hand, is one that will deepen the care crisis. It will drive a lot of care workers outside the UK, push experienced staff to countries where they will be received. And who blame them? They will never come again. Now, what will then happen? If the government decide to keep this, we will share the update that we have and the impact. We have some good news. Stick to the end. Now, this means that if government decide to keep the 5 years, it will create certainty and stability. A lot of migrants, because we know that they will be able to live and not worry about fear, not live in fear and anxiety. They will commit to the UK for a long time. Faster permanent status means that they will get their settlement and they'll be able to move on and build their life. They will not have to worry about renewal. Most people know that the cost of renewal for a family of 3 and 4 in some cases can exceed £10,000. How many people in the UK have £10,000 savings? You're talking about care workers on minimum wage, and they have to cover this financial burden. That will be removed. We also know that if the government decide to keep that, improvement in mental health, a lot of people from migrant communities, their mental health is being affected by what is happening. Family will be able to keep together because there is divorce. A lot of families are falling apart. It will lead to career and growth. A lot of people can be able to set up jobs, go back to university, go to school and do things. That restriction that they currently have will be gone. And what is Unison now demanding? What did they demand at that meeting? They said, end exploitation, keep 5 years route to settlement, introduce fair pay agreement, address salary threshold. They warned at that meeting that the salary threshold is already causing NHS staff to be dismissed and put at risk of deportation. They said this is not ideology, it's about damage control for the government. Now, let us now look at the importance of having their voices heard. MP listen. What is the significance of this? Now that means that MPs, we know that they respond to issues that their constituents raise. They work for their constituents. Having that face-to-face meeting, it means that MP can hear personal story. It humanizes what is going on. Because when you see somebody face-to-face, we are all human beings. We react based on emotion. Person won't cry. They tell their story. You'll be touched. You change your position by that meeting. We also know that having that meeting, it means that the issue received a lot of press coverage, which builds public accountability and a sense of urgency. And we also know that people are following normal channel by setting up a petition and continue to put this issue at the public consciousness. Now, what is the impact if the government say, you know what, we are going to keep the 15 years regardless of what you guys do? That means permanent uncertainty for a lot of people, constant fear. They're worried about job loss. If I lose my job, my employer tell me if I don't work hard, they're going to sack me. If they sack me, I have 60 days. If I don't get a job, I'm out of the country. This is not good. It's affecting my mental health. All those things will continue. People will continue to worry, financial burden, exploitation will continue. People's mental health will be affected. We know that a lot of people are already suffering from poor mental health. We know that family instability, a lot of families will continue to fall apart. It will be a barrier to integration for people. A lot of people today, they want to go to university, they want to study, they want to improve their life, but they feel stuck, and that will continue. People will continue to worry about the stress of their visa. And if this policy continue again, we know that loss bargaining will be affected. The policy becomes permanent, it makes it silent, and just means that people will continue to live in fear and worry. Higher risk of exploitation, massive financial loss will continue. And also, we know that these things that we're talking about today, the current Home Secretary, before she became the Home Secretary, she advocated safer route for migrants, family reunion, human cost. At that time, a lot of the things that she's doing now, she was arguing against them. In fact, there is reports that she has started deleting the post that she made before she became the Home Secretary, because a lot of people say, you said this 5 years ago, but now you are saying this. Now she wants harder rules to settlement, extend waiting times to 15 years, and she make it less safe for care workers to stay in the UK. Her old views, as I said before, she has deleted it. Now, if migrants then decide to leave the UK, the migrant then decide to leave the UK, that means care home will close, elderly will be affected, families will be forced to step in. Kent County Council is already complaining that there are £60 million black hole because they are spending more. Let us then listen to somebody who spoke at that meeting.
I am simply asking for the system to treat me fairly.
I'm begging the politician to put humanity into whatever they do.
Alex Norris said he will look carefully at making it easier for all workers to move employers and not here.
You see, one of the commitment, the MP have made commitment that they will look urgently into the issue of that being tied to one employer. That because of this trip today by these people, MP have given commitment because they've heard stories and they are touched by what they've heard. That is one victory. We have to keep this issue going. Now, what are the additional things that we can do? Continue to engage our politicians, mobilize, be strategic, tell our stories to people that are influenced, people that have power, so that they will be influential and hear our story will touch them. Continue to engage our MP. Target the MPs that are vulnerable. Believe it or not, some MPs, they won the election by as tiny as 500 votes. Those MPs that are vulnerable, let's continue to target them, put them under pressure, because we only need about 65 MP for the government to change their course. If 65 Labour MPs say, you know what, we're not going to support this, the government will be panicking, they will have to change it. People are not asking for too much. So let's keep the issue going. I will tell you what you can do. Now, let us continue to engage our councillors. There are links in the description section of this video for you to contact your MP and your councillor and your mayor. Let's continue to make clear demand. Engage influential think tank that have power that have influence on the Labour Party. Let us now look at the most influential think tank. Without Labour together, it is highly unlikely that Keir Starmer would have won the last election. So this is one group that you must engage. You can Google their contact, Institute for Public Policy and Research. That's another strong one. Resolution Foundation, another one. Rantry Foundation. The Fabian Society. Without Sydney and Beatrice Webb, you won't have the welfare state. This Fabian Society, they have been one of the most influential think tank in the Labour. In fact, they are among the people that founded the Labour Party. So if you engage this 5 think tank and you contact vulnerable MP to try to lobby them, and we continue to put the issue in public conscience, I am telling you, we have a chance. We haven't got anything to lose if we do not do anything. This issue is a fight that is worth fighting for. So if there's anyone for Unison or any of the agencies that want to reach out to me, we will continue to, we will be willing to help. I am one of the only YouTuber who have used this platform to raise more than 135 million pounds for victims of COS who were scammed when their COS were revoked. I did not collect a penny. This is a cause that is close to my heart. You can support what we're trying to do by giving this video a like, share, subscribe, and let me know what your comments are in the comment section. There are links in the description section for you to reach out to your MP, your councillor, and the mayor. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and let others know.